Hey everybody, it's Taki117 back with Star Quest, and here we are sitting on the launch pad with again, another older-ish design. Let's go ahead and start the countdown. Alright, everything is set up. Three, two, 1, 0. Look at that. We're climbing slowly skywards. Well, sort of. So the contract that we're going to do is I need to have an orbit with at least a 0.8 eccentricity and an orbit of at least 14 degrees. And is this the one that I forgot to... And I may have forgotten crucial parts. So, because I need to have a magnetometer boom and an RPWS antenna, and that is not checked. I need to start my pitch over. Oh, crap. This mission has gone from bad to slightly less bad. So now I'm flying this rocket manually. This rocket is not going to play nice today. So, but I will definitely have an orbit greater than 14 degrees. And an eccentricity less than 0.18. We're just going to hold here for a while. Gravity do the work for us. Tell you, I have so many problems with the space program, and all of them are my fault. I guess I'm not the great pilot that I think I am. But you know what? That's okay, because every failure is an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to do something different, as will be evidenced with maybe not the next launch, but the launch after, depending on how I feel. Where I've taken my orbital return rocket, redesigned it, and now I'm launching it again. I didn't even really redesign it at all, I just changed when the parachute's open. So now we're doing pretty good. true gravity turn. Time to apoapsis is increasing. It should be almost out of fuel. More or less. So 2 minutes, 22-second burn time. And I am 1 minute, 50 seconds into the flight. I'll let you guys do the math. We're increasing in speed, not necessarily altitude. So we're compressing the air in front of us and potentially overheating our fairing. About 12 seconds of burn time left. First stage is getting ready to cut out. Our fairing is starting to overheat, as is our second stage engine. There goes the fairing. And there goes the rocket. More things are exploding. It looks like... Nope, just the payload is gone. Oh, and I did have a magnetometer and RPWS on this satellite. Not that it matters much. So it looks like I'll have to redesign this first stage so that my guidance system works with it. And of course, I can't do anything until after the rocket crashes. So you guys get to watch the rocket crash. Watch it flip backwards, and then of course I have no way to control it, so I can't save this. So, you know, there's nothing I can do. There goes that fuel tank. And this is going to burn up and explode more than likely. There goes the coupler, fuel tank, engine. I'm surprised my payload is, or at least the fairing is, still mostly in one piece. That is... oh, that's my RPWS antenna. The first stage engine has survived, along with a couple of other pieces, the RPWS and the magnetometer, the magnetometer boom. Those are slowing down much faster. The engine is now subsonic. It's going to be amusing if this thing lands how I think it will land. I'm going to accelerate time here. Nice view. Nope. This isn't going to survive either, I can tell you now. Although it does amuse me that they've all hit the ground at less than 100 meters a second. Okay. So now we just gotta wait a minute for it to recognize that everything is dead. And here we are back on the launch pad with our our orbital return rocket, and it hasn't changed hardly at all. Like I said, the only thing that I changed was the altitude at which the parachute pre-deploys. So we're going to try this again. We're going to hope it works. And who knows? We might get lucky. Alright. Starting our gravity turn quite nicely. Already hit a couple of our milestones. Beautiful clouds reflecting that sunlight. As we push through them. We're not getting as much roll as we are this time around. I mean, we're still getting a little bit as we climb, and our fins become less effective at holding us in place, but as I say that, the rocket goes almost completely out of control. How dare it? I'm just gonna ditch that right there. Okay, it's gonna take us 1,000 meters a second to circularize, which is fine. I would like to get turned back around. There we go. Okay, we're in orbit. We're going to run our experiments as soon as we can. You can't run experiments while warping. Collect all of the data. This is... I also think something I'm going to do on return is not go so deep into the atmosphere. At least initially. Instead of going down to 25 kilometers, I think I'll just stick with 36. That would keep me traveling horizontally longer. which will give my craft more opportunity to slow down. We have passed apoapsis, which is fine. Still performing our circularization burn. Watch our first stage over there. So, and we are almost in orbit. We are in orbit. It's okay that it's a little eccentric. I'm going to point orbit prograde. And then kill rotation. Because what I'm going to do is we're going to warp around the planet until we're traveling backwards. Kind of like that. Figure out where I am. Okay, I'm not quite where I want to be. Still warping. Okay. So we're here. I'm going to turn around again. Teeny tiny little engine there. But hey, it pushes this rocket pretty good. Alright, 30 kilometers should do it. Ditching our engine again. Does not look like I'm going to come down this time around, but that's okay. So even if I run out of electric charge, my parachute is already set up for deployment. Actually, I think what I want to do is point radio out. And you're like, why are you pointing radio out? Well, I'm pointing radio out so that there's Jupiter. Cool. More of my spacecraft is facing the airstream. Eventually it'll do that anyway. So we're going to turn off. See, and we are going to come down. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the time warp. Surface negative, and there's our heat shield ablating away. Nope, surface negative. I want you to point surface negative until aerodynamics takes control and you can't anymore. So this protects the majority of my rocket as we fall. Moving at Mach 6.5 coming back from orbit. It really is amazing how fast you need to go to actually get to orbit. Even in Kerbal Space Program, where everything is a tenth the size. We're coming down over central US. Huh. We're going to land in the Pacific again. I've never landed this thing on land. I've never returned one of these tiny materials bays. I'm starting to think this rocket's cursed. At least we seem to be holding retrograde better. I'm wondering if that's because we are set to hold retrograde, or if we were holding it earlier. Once again, we're doing this in real time. I am falling in real time. Slowing down to Mach 6 now, and our deceleration is increasing, so we're slowing down faster. I'm surprised our heat shield is not ablating. Ooh. These temperature gauges are fluctuating. I'm not sure I like that. I'll turn my SAS off. And the reason for their fluctuation is because they are entering and exiting that shock cone. They're kind of riding that edge. There we go. Alright, we're slowing down to Mach 3.3. See if I can steer this thing at all. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get as much of this craft facing the airstream as I can. And of course aerodynamics are fighting me. We're now subsonic. And I think I'm going to deploy my parachute at 5 kilometers, which is higher than I cannot deploy my parachute. Okay, so I cannot manually deploy my parachute. Awesome. There we go. This is going to slow us way down. Hopefully faster than... Nope. Wonderful. So it looks like I need to deploy my parachute way early. Like, incredibly early. So, we'll head back to the drawing board. So, here is our lunar satellite again. Change the thrust to weight ratio at the launch pad. I've decided to put my orbital return rocket on hold for the time being. Today is just not a good day. But we're going to try this. Alright, we're going to try to put this one into the plane of the moon. I'm probably going to fail miserably, but I have tons of fuel, so it's not a big deal. There we go, ascending from the pad again. Okay, a little bit of instability there, but I think that was just because it was trying to do 3 things at once. I like that these engines form a ring of thrust. Here we go. Still ascending. This is good. So far, so good. Okay. We are looking good. Okay. 2.25, Mach 2.25, 16 kilometers downrange. This is about where we ran into trouble last time, so we're doing better. At least a little bit. I am going to throttle down a bit. I'm gonna go 3/4 throttle and see if that doesn't help at all. Back to full. "90 kilometers, not bad." Could have swore I put these in an action group. Oh well. So, we're going to circularize it to next apparatus with our second stage engine. And then we're going to try and transfer to the moon. And I believe this has to be less than 500 kilometers in altitude. I could be wrong. Oh, no. Okay. Go up to 800? No. That's 80. Oops. Those 4 large engines there. Using all kinds of thrust. But yeah, the main reason I activated this was to figure out exactly how far above the moon I need to be to perform a scan. And how far I can be above the moon. Actually, I'm going to pin that right up there. Okay, so we're at 90 kilometers. And we are not quite in the plane of the moon, but pretty close. Actually, we're not close at all. But I've discovered that if I accelerate at a node and then adjust my maneuver around a little bit, I can sort of get an encounter sometimes. Sometimes. There we go. Oop. And then we'll adjust. Oop, too much. There we go. That will put me in a polar orbit of Earth, which is nice. I'm going to go ahead and execute that node in a half hour. Not half hour of video time, but half hour of game time. So we're going to get lined up and warp to the node before firing our engines again. There we go. Whee! Around the planet, there's the Milky Way and the sun. Here comes the sun. Doo 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 doo. Yeah, YouTube's probably gonna yell at me for that. Oh well. Okay, we're gonna start our burn. We're still at the ideal altitude for our scanner, and we are in fact scanning. "35-second burn. There we go. So I like this lifter that I have. I kind of discovered it on accident. I was like, hey, this looks like a fun engine. This looks like a fun engine. Wonder if that'll get me to the moon. And turns out it just might. With like tons of fuel to spare. But the main reason that the Russians didn't use this rocket was it kept failing. There we go, throttling down now. But it was horribly expensive. It was unreliable. It was just overall not very good. There we go. Alright, so let's see how far out I can go. I would want to say it's 500 kilometers. Yep, so less than 500 kilometers. I want to... Oh, this one doesn't have a... Huh. Alright. Well, that sucks, but you know what? It is what it is. Still have plenty of fuel left. And this is... Ooh, it's a free return. So, a free return means that if I were not to fire my engines ever again, I would eventually return to Earth. In this case, I would go splat. But, yeah, I'd get there. And the reason I'm going so far beyond the moon is to give the moon time to catch up. It's only a few days, but still. Once again, my biggest concern is communication. I forgot to turn on my dish. Actually, let me try doing that now. And activate it and point it at Earth. I don't care where. Okay, cool. That's good. I have communication now, so I can adjust my orbit when I get to the moon's sphere of influence. 2, 1, and I believe we're inside the sphere of influence of the moon. Yeah, there's the moon, there's the Earth. Awesome. So now I'm going to set up a maneuver. Ooh, too much. Like I said, I only need to be within 500 kilometers. Trying to get to 450. Yeah, that works. Execute that node. It's only 75 meters a second of delta V. I think I can live with that. Just a feeling I have. But I think what I'm gonna do is actually try and land this on the moon once its mission is complete. Like, I know it's a satellite and all, and it's not designed for landing. How cool would that be? Right? Alright, so I want to change inclination to 90 degrees. After 60 seconds. It's going to take me 7 meters a second of delta V to pull it off. Alright, that's like nothing. Let's see how much of the moon I have. I have that much. Wonderful. Okay. There we go. Performing the tiniest of burns. Alright, I want to change my periapsis to 450 kilometers after another 60 seconds. Now, I am accounting for burn time, which is negligible. I'm going to limit my thrust down to 5% of what it normally is. And that is still almost enough to lift off of the moon. Just going to give it a little puff. I know I'm splitting hairs. You know, I'm shaving 7,000 meters a second off of my... There we go. Excellent. Now I can circularize at the next periapsis, create and execute. I'll give this 50% thrust-ish. There we go. Ah! There we go, 50% thrust. And I got it in before we time warp. Cool. Bada bing, bada boom. We're now scanning the surface of the moon. See? This doesn't help us at all, but yeah, you know. Render. See my orbit changing in real time. It's kind of cool, right? There we go. I'm gonna call that good. We are going to point normal pos. Yeah, normal positive. Why not? Ooh, I don't want to point normal pos. I want prograde, I guess. And I will eventually complete this mission. Probably best if I do it from map mode, huh? Look at that, 75% complete already. Whee! Yeah, close enough. I will eventually reach 100% completion. But for now, 75 is good enough. Don't need to pin that anymore. What I am going to do, however, see. Just trying to plan this out so I have continuous connection the entire time. Alright. Let's land on the moon. Then, I now have a cheap launcher that can get here. Come on, retrograde. There we go. Now, because the moon has no atmosphere, I don't have to worry about, well, atmospheric anything, really. I'm doing this incredibly horribly. I'm aiming for that crater there, and the moon is going to move. Alright, I don't need orbit info. I don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore either. What I do need is my surface info. So this tells me my time to impact and my suicide burn. And I screwed up. That's what I get for warping too fast. Oh well, that's it for this episode. I'm Taki117, and remember, it's only rocket science.